Hello, my name is Sam Grill. I'm here representing Sparta Global, who are an IT service provider. Uh, I've been with Sparta for 18 months, and my role is a test engineer. I'm here to answer some questions, so I'll just go straight into them. My first question is, tell us a little bit about your role and company. So, as I said, I've been working for Sparta Global for 18 months now. I joined them after I finished my degree. I did a master's in physics at Queen Mary University. Before that, I did my undergrad in Southampton, and before that, I was doing maths, physics, and further maths at A-level at school. Beyond that, I then graduated and went to a careers fair at Queen Mary, where I met a representative from Sparta who kind of told me about a training scheme that they had open, and it wasn't something that I had ever considered before, but they were offering to train people up that had no necessarily sort of development or software development skills before, be that as a developer or a test engineer or DevOps or any other specific roles in the industry. So I kind of piqued my interest in that, and I went to the open day and to the careers day with Sparta, and got offered a chance to come back to interview, and then I got accepted onto the training program there, which started as a general technical course, and then specialized at the end to either DevOps or test engineering, and I went down the test engineering route. So my role is now I'm a test engineer test consultant at a client of Sparta Global's, and I've been there the last 18 months. So the next question is, what attracted you to the role in the industry? I think I've always been a technical person, but mainly that I didn't have the skills to do it at an industry level. And the fact that Sparta were offering to train people from, that might have had a limited technical background and take you to an industry level was really, really promising. And to do it within, quite an intensive 12-week training course as well, meant that I was able to go from very basic skills to very high skills and high aptitude in quite a short amount of time, and that was really impressive. I even impressed myself, with how quickly you can learn when you apply yourself to these kind of things. But the industry, I've always been attracted to it. I think it's going to be one for the future. It's not going to go away anytime soon, and you're going to be committing yourself to a lifelong career, and it's something that's constantly adapting and is fluid and is constantly advancing, and there's so much to learn. So it's a really great space to be in. The next question is, what pathways are there to get into the role? So I guess that kind of means how do you get into it? I guess unless you come from a technical background, for example, you study computer science at university, or you do an apprenticeship or something like that, your opportunities aren't that, there aren't many readily available people that are, or companies that are willing to accept people without training, which is what really attracted me to Sparta Global, was the fact that I could go in with limited technical skills and come out ready to go in and dive into any company that was willing to hire consultants. So I think taking the opportunities to train are really, really important, especially when they're giving you, people that are training you have worked in industry and have upwards of 10 years industry experience. They have the knowledge, they have the understanding of the ways of working, which is something that you wouldn't necessarily get from an academic kind of course. You might get the technical aptitude, but you wouldn't necessarily get training in the kind of ways of working, and industry standards is a really, really important thing. So the next question is, what key qualities are employers looking for? So from my perspective, as a test engineer, they're looking kind of for the basic technical skills. Obviously, just learning how to write tests and how to code in Java and things like that. They're obviously really important and are your bread and butter. But really, a lot of places are going to be working out to try and find out about you and how you work in a team, how effective you are at communicating, how well you learn, how quickly you can kind of get up to speed, and then what are you going to do for them? You know, communicating amongst your teams is such a crucial part of your role, and if you do that effectively, it makes everyone's lives easier, and they're really sort of the softer skills that people will be looking for. Is how's your communication? Are you outgoing? Are you willing to ask questions? They're really important things, and just being friendly as well is something that will get you a long way, and it is a lot to say for it. So describe a typical day or week at work. Well, it's a bit more difficult now that we're in quarantine or in lockdown, but I'll try and do my best. So the morning is I'll obviously open my laptop, check any urgent messages that may have come in. Then what we do is for the piece of software that we are currently testing, we run all our baseline checks on that to make sure everything's okay and running as expected. And then as the day goes on, we have new features and new parts of the application that have been finished by developers, and our role is to make sure that those new features work in the way that the business may be expecting them to, and also that any changes that they've made to the application hasn't caused any what we call regression. So changing one thing hasn't broken something else. So we're constantly checking that. And to kind of sum up the role and what we do in a day-to-day is it's quality assurance. It's making sure the application does what we're expecting it to, but also that it's secure, it's operational, it's functionally doing what we're expecting it to, it performs well. So there's a lot of different moving parts in quality assurance, which makes it a really exciting space. And you know, it's an area where there's a definite shortage. Lots of people want to go in and develop applications, but test engineering and making, you know, testing a part of a product's life cycle is something really, really important and really at the forefront of the industry at the minute. What key advice would I give to your 16 or 17-year-old self? Don't limit yourself. You know, you might be studying a particular subject or studying for a particular role. Doesn't mean you can't go and do something else. If an industry takes your fancy, just go for it. You know, you're at an age where the world's ahead of you, and you know, don't pressurize yourself into committing to one future path. Focus on whatever it is you're doing now, and focus on doing a good job, and that will speak wonders for regardless of which industry you want to go in the future. And you know, consider tech. It's something you can learn, it's something you can teach yourself, and it's a really, really promising and exciting industry. Thank you for listening. I hope that kind of gives you a bit of an insight. And yeah, thanks for taking the time to listen.